culture is one of the most important aspects of a successful business, and that stories consistently told that pull through that thread of the purpose help to build culture over time. So people are all, singing for the same hymnal, so to speak. Who's in charge of culture at your company?
The simple answer is everybody is in charge of culture at the company, because the culture is, it's the result of the environment that we create and our behaviors and how we live our values. So that's the honest answer, is everybody has a part to play and is in charge of the culture. We have spent a lot of time over the last 6 years using communications to help change the culture. And so, when we came up with the mission statement, not long after that, we had a set of what we called at the time cultural attributes of the company. And it was around the foundational attribute being growth mindset. And so I'll sort of take you on a journey of a bit of a story around these, which I think might illuminate them. But the foundational attribute was, this notion of a growth mindset that comes from Carol Dweck, the Stanford professor's book, that's called Mindset, where we believe that we can learn new things and that we're open to change, we're open to ideas from other places, and that we don't have all of the answers. And in many ways, that was counter to some of the culture that had built up over, almost 40 years preceding of the company. And so that became a language and a tool and a way of working that we wanted to instill inside of the company. And so we went on a journey in the company of relentless communication around that. And that was everything from, talking to our executives around how do you talk with your teams around growth mindset? How do we create training programs so people understand what growth mindset is? How do we, put posters on the walls that remind people in interesting ways around what is a growth mindset? We took every coffee cup in the company, these paper coffee cups, and created a branded set of coffee cups with phrases from speeches that Mahatma Gandhi or Sir Ken Robinson or Coco Chanel or whole set of people. We branded a set of coffee cups that were growth mindset statements. And all of these things, none of them on its own would have helped to move us to having a growth mindset. But when you put this type of storytelling, I'll call it, into the environment and do it in a consistent way, people start to notice the change. And whenever there is change like this, there is a natural cynicism around people and a resistance to change. But being able to, having the fortitude to stay the course and say, we're not going to, cede to that criticism or that cynicism. We're going to continue because we believe in this thing called growth mindset. And then we measured it. So on a monthly basis, we would, run polls inside of the company and have data that says, what do people think about growth mindset? And that consistently, what we measured was the awareness of growth mindset. And what we also measured is, do we see people practicing a growth mindset? And we saw that over a couple of years just consistently go up to a point where, it was sort of 80% of people in the company understood what a growth mindset was, and we're seeing it in practice at the company, which, from where it had started in the 50 to 60% was what we wanted to see. And so we, culture I think has been at the core of the success of the company over the last 6 years. And we look at the stock price, and that's one indicator. But I think underneath that is this shift to both the power of the mission statement has really shown people that this is a purpose-driven company, and then our cultural attributes, so growth mindset, One Microsoft, customer obsessed, a number of these things really started to become inculcated in the business. And very quickly the cynicism fell away, and people said, that's the company I actually want to work for.